half in the bag. I have so many problems. I have to take so many pills for my problems.
So I was thinking of getting rid of my beard.
I didn't know you had a beard. What's her name?
What? No, my facial hair.
Oh.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh.
Mr. Plinkett, where have you been? We haven't seen you in a really long time.
I've been in the hospital for 3 weeks. Apparently you can't eat the type of nuts you buy at the hardware store.
Huh. Well, I, for one, forgot all about you.
I haven't forgotten, Mike. In fact, I started writing a book about missing Plinkett. It's called Gone, Grandpa.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. In fact, it sounds quite similar to the book by Gillian Flynn called Gone Girl.
Did you say Gillian Flynn?
Gillian, as in Gilligan's Island.
So her name is Gillian Flynn, not Gillian Flynn.
It's not, no.
Okay, okay.
We're very clear on that now.
Yeah.
But speaking of that book by Gillian Flynn, have you seen the new movie Annabelle?
I have. I've also seen Gone Girl, which the screenplay for that was also written by Gillian Flynn.
Oh, interesting.
I mean Gillian Flynn.
Did you know the lead actress in Annabelle, her real name is Annabelle? Did you know Gillian Flynn once owned a possessed doll?
This is amazing. Maybe we should talk about these films that we've seen.
All right.
That's fine, you guys do that. I'm gonna go drink some Pepto-Bismol.
Why is he walking like he just ate hardware store nuts?
Because he just ate hardware store nuts.
Oh. Oh.
What's your name?
Amy.
Oh, Amy?
And you? Who are you?
I'm the guy to save you from all this awesomeness.
Man of my dreams. This man of mine may truly kill me.
Ben Affleck tries to not have the charge of murder stick in David Fincher's new film, Goo Gone. In the film, which is based on the popular book by Gillian Flynn, Ben Affleck is accused of murdering his wife, played by some lady. A bunch of crazy shit then happens, which can't be described without giving too much of the movie away. Tyler Perry is also in the movie, and so is Ben Affleck's penis, which is played by Matt Damon. Jay, what did you think of Goo Gone?
I liked it quite a bit. Once again, David Fincher, I think, has made something that I appreciate more on a technical level than on a story level. This movie's based on a very popular book, and I can understand why the book's so popular. To me, it felt like I haven't read the book, but based on the material of the movie, it kind of felt like a trashy supermarket checkout line type book, a page turner, as they call it, where everyone says, "Did you read this book? This happens, and then this happens, and this happens." It kind of felt like that. But overall, I liked it. I was intrigued by most of the story, and then I was sort of disappointed in the ending.
Before I saw this, I saw the trailer, and it was eerily reminiscent of the Scott Peterson murder case.
Okay.
Scott Peterson and Lacey Peterson was his wife. A young, attractive couple. She had a baby on the way, and he murdered her on Christmas Eve. So our character in Gone Girl was murdered on July 5th, both the day after and or before a holiday, and then there was a lot of media sensationalism surrounding that, and this movie plays up on that aspect a whole lot as well. I guess that's what part of the movie is about, like public opinion.
Public perception and manipulation of the media in a way, but not in like a satirical way, which is kind of what I was thinking when they started introducing that element, but it was more presented like this is just how it happens.
Yeah, you're tried on public opinion. And that was a big element of the movie, but what was the movie about?
Well, it's hard to get into and really discuss without getting into spoilers, so maybe we should just say this is going to be a spoiler review.
Yeah.
We're just going to go into it because a lot of twists and turns and all that type of stuff that keeps those pages turning and keeps people talking in the book form. But yeah, it starts off, we kind of don't like Ben Affleck at the start of the movie. He's accused of killing his wife. We're given glimpses of his dead wife's diary, and she explains some things that happens to him and sort of gets you on her side until you realize that maybe that's not all completely true.
We now believe Nick is involved in the disappearance of our daughter.
Without a body, without a murder weapon, their only hope is a confession.
Don't know anything yet?
You need to tell me.
How was your marriage, Nick?
Are you asking me if I killed my wife?
Man of my dreams, this man of mine may kill me.
What about my son, Nick?
This man may kill me. In her own words,
This man may truly.
Yeah, but I mean, if that was the point, like, our opinion is based on just being judgmental or reactionary, gut reaction to stuff. Like, it didn't quite focus exclusively on that. And then it turns into a movie about this evil woman who's a chameleon.
Yeah. See, I think it was more about that, the people that are the center of the media attention, how they deal with it or respond to it, or because it's a lot of, I mean, even though Ben Affleck is the good guy, he didn't kill his wife. He's still lying to the media in a lot of ways to get on people's good side. So even though he is innocent, he still feels the need to manipulate his story, manipulate the way he is presented to the media. And the woman, that's his wife, that's her main driving force.
So I guess my problem was, and spoilers, warning spoilers. I was like, oh, okay. You know, the first half of the movie is set up. Where's Lacey Peterson? Nobody knows. Where's Stacy Peterson? Nobody knows that either. Where is what's her name? Penny Marshall? The character's name?
Amy.
Amy. Oh, yeah.
It's Ben Affleck, and he's chasing Amy again.
Yeah. And I thought Amy being a children's book character was a little weird angle that seemed to have no purpose whatsoever.
I think the only purpose was that she had some minor celebrity already, and that's why there's so much media attention to it. But there's media attention to people that aren't famous at all when certain things happen.
Oh, only if they're attractive people.
Oh, yes, that's true.
If an ugly girl goes missing, nobody cares. Mm-hmm. But, you know, if they're cute as a button, then the media is all over it. Yeah. And that's kind of what is addressed in this movie a little bit too. But so first half she's missing, and that part had me all the way. And then they reveal her secret plan, which is this elaborate thing to frame Ben Affleck for her murder.
That's when it becomes a movie.
To get revenge on him for being a loveless husband.
Yeah.
And for making her feel bad about herself. She plans this elaborate thing, which does include her own suicide.
Yes, because she's a crazy person.
But she does a very, very elaborate plan, which I thought was clever. And then she travels to the Ozarks and stays at some kind of like hotel and befriends rednecks that rob her.
Even though she's trying to lay low, for some reason she befriends these people. And that's where the movie lost me a little bit.
Well, I think what the angle is that she was a sociopath and she was a chameleon, where she would adapt and she would change her persona and change who she was to whatever situation she was in. Kind of like when she reconnects with Neil Patrick Harris, she kind of becomes what he wants. She becomes the redneck friend, biding her time until killing herself in a lake. So I don't know why she stays at a hotel. Why didn't she drown herself like 50 feet from their house if she really wanted to frame her husband? I don't know why she goes to the middle of nowhere to hide out. It reminded me of Walter White when he hid out in a little cabin in Breaking Bad.
I haven't gotten to that.
It's good. You should watch Breaking Bad.
I should watch Breaking Bad.
First half of the movie. Let me just put this in a nutshell.
Okay.
Whip smart detective lady. Nothing gets past her. Very carefully, meticulously laid out plan by Gone Girl. Second half of the movie, Gone Girl does whatever she wants and gets extremely sloppy. And detective lady loses her power and says, I don't know what to do.
And that's my problem, is the ending, because I thought that's where it was going, was she gets sloppy, she starts to leave clues here and there,
right.
And then plucky detective lady who's kind of been brushed over by the higher-ups, she figures it out, and I kind of thought that's where it was going.
The hallmark of a sociopath. is a lack of empathy.
Amy lost a lot of blood in there. Then somebody mopped it up.
Why would they mop up the blood if they're trying to stage a crime scene?
Whatever they found, I think it's safe to assume that it's very bad.
I'd finally realized I am frightened of my own husband.
I would show you, as if you're doing a deposition, what to say, what not to say.
A trained monkey?
A trained monkey who doesn't get lethal injections.
She's going to eat you alive.
You assaulted her?
It's not good enough for you? I hit her?
It's not even close.
Absolutely not. I never touched her.
This is something else that threw me off. She was implying in her story that Neil Patrick Harris kidnapped her from her house, took her to his house, and then like tortured and raped her. Yeah. But she has a meeting with him at a riverboat casino. And I'm like, oh, they're having it at a casino. She's luring him into the casino. That's brilliant. You know why? Because there's 50 million cameras in a casino.
Yes.
And I was like, that's great. Nothing ever comes of that.
Yeah.
Does she not know that? That you're on camera every square inch except for the bathrooms in a casino?
Yes. Well, you could say with the point that the movie ends on, that doesn't necessarily have to be the end of the story. Like, these things could have been figured out afterwards, but as the ending of the movie, it's not terribly satisfying.
Like, the look is great. I mean, you mentioned the technical elements. The look is great. The music, of course, the Trent Reznor and some other guy score.
Atticus Finch.
Atticus Finch is a literary character.
The strength of the filmmaking and also the acting, I think, carries a lot of the movie. Ben Affleck's pretty good. The first part of the movie, when it first started, I was a little like, I don't know, something felt off, but it kind of, I don't know.
Ben Affleck's good.
I've never had a problem with Ben Affleck.
Tyler Perry was great.
I thought Tyler Perry was serviceable.
No, I thought he was really good.
I would have been more interested in seeing a more interesting character actor in that role. Like, he was good, but I really liked, I looked her name up afterwards because I had no idea who she was, the woman who played Amy, Rosamund Pike. I liked her a lot in this movie. I thought she's what sold that character in a way where it could have come across too comical or too stupid in a different, if it was left up to a different actor. But I thought she seemed to really like revel in the role, and I thought she was really good in it.
I know you. I saw you at the volunteer center.
I wanted to help. Amy's the kind of girl who attracts admirers.
Did you do it?
Did you do it?
David Fincher, he's sort of frustrating because he's such a talented filmmaker. He's very meticulous. His movies are very mannered, but sometimes he picks this material like this, and even to a lesser extent, I would say, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, where it's sort of pulpy book, light reading entertainment, and making these movies. And I'd like to see him, like The Social Network, which he did, was completely different than anything else he had done. And it worked. So I don't know. I mean, he's done the crime thing to death at this point. I'd like to see him try different stuff, try to experiment a little more.
It's just got very exciting.
You bumped up Amy's life insurance to $1.2 million.
Because she told me to.
Where's your wife, Nick?
You need to tell me.
Well, Jay, would you recommend Goo Gone?
I would, based on the strength of the filmmaking and the performances. I think are really, really great, and I think they carry a lot of the movie, despite the fact that I wasn't fully satisfied with the story and where it goes.
Well, I think I have to say the opposite. I didn't hate this movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I thought it was good. It's a good story. It's different. It's interesting. But for me, it's like I said, the first half lays this foundation, it lays this groundwork, it lays these rules, and you have these characters, and then it sort of dismantles what it did in the second half. It just sort of comes crumbling apart. The logic starts to falter, and a lot of the things you start going, and then it has this, if it has an overall point, if it's satire, if it's supposed to be a reflection on supermarket tabloid trash, crime show, Nancy Grace crime show type stuff. If it's supposed to be a commentary on that, not quite clear enough for me. It was no Serial Mom.
But really, what is?
Mrs. Hinkle, are you insane?
No, I'm not, you motherfucker!
John Waters, he nailed this type of material over 15 years ago.
Cocksucker! You lousy pig fucker! You bitch! You ugly whore!
Kathleen Turner. You can't beat Kathleen Turner in a motion picture.
Maybe now you can. She looks rough.
That's not nice to say to a lady. Her husband calls her Kathleen Turner over. Well, speaking of direction and acting in place of story, let's talk about our next film, Annabelle.
Annabelle is a prequel to a small element of The Conjuring. That element being a creepy doll that looks like something that belongs in a horror movie that no one would ever want to own ever. The movie then happens. It stars no one you've ever heard of except for Alfre Woodard, who is in Star Trek First Contact. Mike wrote this. The movie is about 90 minutes long, then it ends. In the middle of the film, scary events happen, like seeing Ben Affleck's penis. Oh wait, that's the other film.
Great.
So Mike, what did you think of Annabelle?
Well, you're gonna hate me for this, but I liked it. I liked it the way I like street lights.
What?
You got headlights on your car. You don't necessarily need street lights, but when they're there, it helps.
I can't even.
James Wan to make a movie. He made Saw back in 2004 or something.
Whenever that was.
And then he makes horror films. His name is James Wan.
Yes.
He made The Conjuring, and The Conjuring was a hit. And it had a creepy doll in it named Annabelle that is based on a real thing. And everyone said, boy, oh boy, wasn't that creepy doll Annabelle scary? And then some asshole with a bunch of money said, well, hey, we can make a whole bunch of more money on this. So James Wan, make Annabelle. And James Wan read the script and said, I'd rather sit on my toilet. Then they gave the script to some other guy and said, do you want to make Annabelle? And he read the script and said, whatever.
Someone can hold her.
And then they asked a bunch of actors and they said, do you want to be an Annabelle? And they said, whatever. And they asked Alfre Woodard, an accomplished actress, a talented actress. And they said, do you want to be an Annabelle? And she goes, how much does it pay? And then a whole bunch of people got together and made Annabelle. And then a whole bunch of dumb teenagers went and saw it because that doll is quote unquote creepy.
Yeah.
And that's the story of Annabelle.
That sounds pretty accurate to what the behind the scenes of this movie must have been like.
Creepy Doll prequel. What was the story of Creepy Doll before the nursing students had it in The Conjuring?
Even though when it's included in The Conjuring, that's sort of based on real things. Yeah, the doll didn't look anything like that.
Let's get to the facts. Okay. Conjuring, real quick, based on demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Annabelle doll is based on a real thing. In real life, it's a Raggedy Ann doll, which looks nothing like a horror movie doll. Right. And two nursing students owned it, and it would move occasionally positions in the apartment, and then it wrote them notes, allegedly. Yeah. And I think they threw it in the garbage, and it came back into the apartment, and a couple of things like that happened. And then the Warrens investigated, and they deemed that it was under possession by a demon or some sort of inhuman spirit, and they locked it up in a glass case in their collection of weird things, which is true.
Yes.
So here's a photo of it. It's a real thing. Whether or not you believe that it was actually possessed by a demon, it's up to you. The movie version of the Annabelle doll is, of course, movie version Annabelle doll, creepy doll.
Yeah.
And this film is not based on actual events. I must applaud them for that, for not saying based on true events.
Because there was a doll.
Because there was a doll, yeah.
Yeah.
They at least had the dignity of not doing that. But so Annabelle is barely in the film.
No, this movie is, you got your creepy doll element, you got demons, and you have cults. satanic cult.
Did you notice? I wanted to throw in Rosemary's Baby too. And
Oh yes, yes.
did you notice the lead character was named Mia?
Yeah.
Which is a reference to Mia Farrow, I assume.
Right.
But it was highly irritating that the mother's name was Mia and the daughter's name was Leah.
That was stupid.
Because they kept saying Mia and Leah.
Yeah.
Think before you write.
Their desired goal? Our souls, John.
That's why it's after Leah.
Here's the thing. Some hack was hired to whip up a script for a haunted doll prequel.
Yes.
In a weekend. And he's like, okay, dolls, what do I got? What do I got here? I got dolls. Maybe the lady likes antique dolls. I'll throw that in. Oh, they're going to have a baby's room. Dolls go in the baby's room. Mother, so I have a mother theme. Alfred Woodward's daughter died in a car accident. She feels guilty. One girl wants to protect. What's the doll going to do? Is it going to run around like Chucky? Is it going to stab people? No, that's too stupid. Audiences today aren't gonna buy that.
I would have preferred that.
Some kind of demon thing, steal your soul. Got it. Did a fine job writing a hack script.
Disagree completely, but continue.
I didn't.
I thought it wasn't even a serviceable hack script. This movie is so okay. When it started, it was boring. The first 10 minutes felt longer than the entirety of Gone Girl. And then I just got irritated. And by the end, I was kind of angry at how lazy this was.
I did not go through such a range of emotions.
This was like an Adam Sandler version of a horror movie.
No.
Adam Sandler, what's the least amount of work I can put into my script? That's what this is in a horror movie setting.
It was restrained in its horrorness. You call it boring, I call it restrained. The first act was the sewing machine was a little scary. It kind of had me on edge. And the Jiffy Pop on the stove started a fire. It didn't go right into the killer doll.
No.
It set it up with some scary things. There's some scary imagery. The basement scene when she goes down to the basement to put a couple of cardboard boxes.
That was the most effective scene.
The elevator keeps opening and it won't go up, and there's this like dark thing, the demon in it. I liked the devil character when it's on the staircase. Some effective stuff. I thought the husband sucked. He was terrible.
I thought they both sucked. They were both like I don't know. They didn't have any characters. But there was no driving force in this movie as far as the story goes. It was this demon wants the soul of the baby.
It was the plot from Ghostbusters 2.
And Ghostbusters 2 sucked too. No, there's more going on in Ghostbusters 2. This was doll kind of has demon in it, but the demon can also do things outside of the doll, and it wants the baby's soul. And that's bad, of course, because you don't want a demon to take your baby's soul. And that's the entire movie.
Well, nobody wants a demon to take their baby's soul.
That's true.
So almost every person is invested in this movie.
Demons can attach themselves to objects. It wants a soul.
Protect your family.
Would you say this is the Richard Linklater horror film?
This is the boyhood of horror films.
Babyhood?
Babyhood, yeah.
Yeah, I got that impression. Kind of like the cinematography and the look of it was kind of bland. Flat, bland. Except for a couple moments, mainly the basement sequence, but...
Maybe James Wan stepped in that weekend as they were shooting that, and he's like, "You're fucking this all up. Let me fix this." And he shot that scene.
But I liked that it was slightly restrained and that it had a handful of good visuals that were all right to me.
Yeah. To me, it felt
when the neighbors get murdered, that sequence.
By the cult that is not the Manson family cult, even though they set up the Manson family in the scene right before that. I thought that was weird.
Nobody wants to get sued by Charles Manson. Yeah, I was like, well, the Manson family, they're helter-skelter, they're doing their thing in California. Unrelated satanic cult.
Yeah.
Due to copyright laws.
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever. I get it. It was also silly that the police detective let the lady keep a crime scene photo.
Oh yeah, she just says she showed her the crime scene photos, and she just says, "I'm gonna keep this one." Okay. It felt like a direct-to-video movie to me.
Oh, sure.
Like a cheap direct-to-video sequel that somehow sneaked into movie theaters because it's very small scale. It's got a small cast. There's only like 4 main characters. There's very little other characters in the movie. Most of it takes place in one apartment. And all that, you know, you can use your low budget to your advantage if you're clever and if you have some style to your film. But this movie was flat-looking, cheap-looking. The doll had no. You could have made this movie without the doll. It's more of a demon movie, a ghost movie.
And I like that element more than the doll. I think the doll is the look of.
What are you looking at?
Oh my God! Do you know how much that radio is worth? That is a vintage 1920s RCA.
Oh.
I just saw it on Antiques Roadshow. It's actually quite valuable if it has all of its original fittings.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, let's just take it when we leave today.
Okay. I think the screenwriter needed to understand his audience a little better. The audience is going to be drunk teenagers who think the scary doll is scary because Hollywood tells them it's scary.
Yeah.
And they want the doll popping up. More jump scares. More needless murders. The doll doesn't kill anyone in the whole movie.
The doll doesn't do much of anything, no.
Yeah, it needed to off lots of people in the apartment building before getting up to their apartment. And you want to see a killer doll kill people.
Yeah.
Did you know the lead actress has a British voice?
It's really not the one I wanted,
right?
but fine. Oh my God.
I downloaded the B-roll, and then the director's like, "Oh, take the lid off the box, and you see the Annabelle doll." It's like, "Oh, is that it? Is that the doll? Oh my, it's a bit frightening." Is that really it, or is this some kind of prank? and
Is this one of those scary movies that the Wayans brothers make?
I don't know what this is. My agent just said I should take it. It would be in the film.
If anyone, I don't feel bad for the actors. I'm sure they were happy to get this break because nobody knew who they were before this.
Let me get this straight. The lady from Star Trek First Contact throws herself out of a window to save my baby's soul from being eaten by the devil, which is inside a plastic doll. Okay, whatever. Americans and their trash. Oh my God, Annabelle just went on Netflix. That's how long we've been having this discussion. It's already in the red box.
How can you recommend a movie, or not recommend, but how can you give a pass to a movie that was made this clearly this cynically, though? That's usually something you have a problem with.
I have a problem. Well, yeah, if it completely shines through in the material. And to me, this didn't completely shine through in the material. It's almost like saying, good job. I thought there were some spooky scenes. I was a little bored. I thought the characters were flat.
Yeah.
I understood the story. Thought they did a good job. It's like a gold star. Like putting a gold star on a child's homework assignment. That's what this was. It's like a gold star. You finished it.
Okay.
I don't recommend this movie.
Okay.
Because no one's going to share my opinion. They're all going to think it's boring and hate it because it's not gory enough. It's not scary enough. By the way, is this a G-rated film?
Yeah, it's very mild, which is fine. Like, my problem is not that it's not gory enough or not, hard enough. Mm-hmm. My problem is that it's not anything enough.
I was more interested in if the guy passed medical school.
That's his character. The father in this movie, he's a doctor, or he's a medical student, or whatever. He goes to a hospital for work. That's his character.
I kept thinking of American Horror Story.
Yeah?
When watching this, and how much more interesting the characters are in that. Like Dylan, is it Dylan McDermott or Dermot Mulrooney?
It's Dylan McDermott.
Is Dylan McDermott and Dermot Mulrooney the same person?
Yes.
These characters suck.
Yeah.
When that guy talked about going off to a medical conference for 2 days,
yeah.
I kind of hoped he would come back high on cocaine or having cheated on his wife or something, like some sort of inter-character drama that might have occurred. Like, I'm leaving you, honey.
I can't stand this talk of killer dolls. You know, something.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping with Alfre Woodard.
Oh my God, that would have been a twist.
Yeah. We fucked in the book section just like Ben Affleck did in Gone Girl. You know, we fucked right on a demon book, a book about demonology. At least something. Come on, give us something. I know. When the priest came out and he's like, "I'd like to take a creepy photo of your baby and you."
Oh, I thought that was gonna go somewhere.
And I was hoping they would cut to him in the rectory beating off to the photo. Give us something. Give us something. You know why they call it the rectory? Because that's what it is.
So, Mike, would you recommend Annabelle?
Jay, despite mildly enjoying the film, despite not hating it completely, I can definitely see all the flaws that you were saying, and I can definitely see how most people would probably not find this film entertaining. So, despite my personal opinion and my personal experience watching Annabelle, I cannot recommend it. I know what your answer is, right?
I would totally recommend this movie. No, I would not recommend this movie. If you want to see a good, creepy, slow-moving Satanist movie set in an apartment building, watch Rosemary's Baby. If you want to see a creepy doll movie, watch Child's Play. And if you want to see a creepy demon movie, watch Insidious.
Speaking of stealing the plot from Ghostbusters 2, her baby carriage also rolls out into the street.
That's true. Oh, there's the Annabelle doll. So, Mike, do you think they'll make a sequel to Gillian Flynn's movie Gone Girl and call it Goner Girl?
I don't know, Jay, but I sure am looking forward to a sequel to Annabelle called Annabelle.
And I can't wait for the sequel to The Equalizer. It's going to be called The Equalizer.
And hopefully someday they'll make another Maze Runner film. Maze Runner 2, The Amazementing. Oh my God, what's happening?
Is this an earthquake?
Oh my God!
Oh, Jesus Christ!
What's going on? Is it an earthquake?
What is this madness?
I don't know, but the house is shaking violently as if some kind of pressure is building up.
Oh no! I think I'm gonna shit my pants! Oh, nuts!
That's a lot of nuts.
That's what she said.
Whoa! Jesus!